Hey guys, this is Hayes with CheatSheetPros.com. Today we're going to talk about player props, and I want to show any potential new members how we treat player props and what we can do for you. So Cheat Sheet Pros, we also do sports betting and daily fantasy sports. Those are in other videos. This video we're going to focus on player props specifically. So player props are the hottest thing out there right now. All of your local sports books, DK, FanDuel, MyBookie, offer these. A lot of them do same game parlays. Plus you have sites like Prize Picks, Thrive Fantasy, where you can mix and match player props. So how do you get started? So understanding what player props are, it's basically what their raw projection is for the day, and you pick over or under that number. So our NBA cheat sheets, I'm going to focus on NBA because that's the sport that's going on right now that everybody's looking at, are going to help you find those players. It is almost impossible to flip through and just start looking at random players, and that's what a lot of people do. They'll go to Prize Picks, for example, and say, okay, I like Jokic. Let me look at his points prop. All right, let me go look at his game log. Let me look at his rebounds. Okay, let me go look at his game logs. Let me look at his assist. Let me go look at his game logs. Let me look at his points, rebounds, assists. And you spend literally hours trying to find a play that you really like. So how do we speed that process up? So what Cheat Sheet Pros has done, I have a tab here called Last 7. So you can see we have lots of tabs. So you can spend as much time researching this, but I'm going to show you the quick, easy way to find player props. This is what I do. So player props is basically, like we said before, it's their projection for the day. So we want to find players who are hot the last week, last 2 weeks that are exceeding that projection on a consistent basis. And those are the guys that we want to go investigate and look into. So let's take a look at a couple of guys. So when you open up the NBA cheat sheet, if you're just doing player props and you want the quickest way, go to this tab down here at the bottom called Last 7. And then you can see we've got points, rebounds, assist, points, rebounds, assist. Let me scroll this over so you can see it a little better. And I blew this up, so hopefully it's a little bit easier to see. Now, I start at points, rebounds, assists, and I go to differ, and I sort by largest, so I can see what they're doing the last 7 and what they're currently projected at today. Now, the key is, when you go look up their line on Prize Picks, their line is going to be within a couple of what this current projection is almost all of the time. Now, I'll shop around, I'll look at Thrive, I'll look at Prize Picks, I'll look at my local sports book, and I might get a better number going one or the other, but that determines where I'm going to play for the day. Now, if you're doing points, you can do the same thing here. If you're doing rebounds, you can look at the same ones and see who's rebounded a lot more over the last week. But I recommend looking at the last 7 averages and the last 15-day averages and finding the difference with the current projection and then looking into their game logs. Now, when you go to look at game logs, we're going to use DraftKings because everybody has that available, and it's very simple to go in here and click on a player and open up their game log and see everything that's going on. Now, if you've got a Sportsbook or Optimize, or you pay for another service, they're also going to have an option where you can do that. So just use whatever's easier. I'm using DraftKings just because that's free for everybody and everybody can kind of see what's going on. A couple of key things to look for on this sheet. Number of games played in the last 7. So if a player has 1 game, then look at the game logs, take it with a grain of salt. It's only 1 game. I like to see 2 or 3, and then go look at the game logs and see if that's something that's continued for more than 2 or 3 games. For example, we're going to go ahead and look at a couple players. So when I come in here to the PRA, we sorted it high to low in the difference column. So we can see Jason Tatum, he's projected at 35.6 points, rebounds, and assists. And he's averaged 57 over the last week, but it is only 2 games. So I want to look at the minutes and make sure they're about the same, which we know Tatum, he's a main guy. He's going to be on the floor. So that's a guy we want to go look at. So when we come over here and we pull up his game logs, you can see his points, rebounds, assists right here. So he had 46, and then that's 68, and then this one is 44. So with 46, 68, and 44 over the last 3, I would go look at, for example, Prize Picks right now. His line's 38.5. So that's one I would probably liken over. Now, you do want to look and see who they're playing. Make sure it's not, a tough defense that doesn't give up a lot of points or something with a 200-point total. But this is someone that we found him quickly, and we went and looked at his game logs, and he's constantly over that number, so that should be someone that you're looking into. When I'm going down the list here, Walker, he's got a minute drop. So yes, he has, where'd we go? He's been way over that number, but he's been playing more minutes than what he's projected at here, so I'm going to look past him. Goga is projected for a minute drop. He's been playing 25. He's only projected at 12. Duncan Robinson, slight minute drop, and they didn't have a prop on him. Graham, his minutes are about the same, but again, it's one game. They didn't have his prop out. Bogdan, 23, 25 minutes. That's about the same. They didn't have a line on him. So the next guy we come to is Cade Cunningham, which we can see he's got a couple of games over the last week, and then he's projected about 36 minutes. He's been playing 38, so I like his minute number. So when we look at this, we're showing his projected points, rebounds, assists it's about 30. And then he's been averaging a little over 40. So that's someone that we want to go look at. That's a significant difference. So when we go over here and we look at Cade Cunningham, we're going to go to his game log, and we're going to look at the first win. So we can see he's been playing really well. So he has a points, rebound, assist number of 50. And then this one is 31. And then this one is 36. So with 50, 31, and 36 over the last 3 games, I would go into my sportsbook or Price Picks and see what that number is. So Price Picks has it right now at 28.5. So that's one that we would potentially want to look at an over for with our sportsbook or Price Picks. Now, you can do the same thing for points. And also, when you're looking at this, like, for example, let me go back here. So points, rebounds, assist. Tatum's at the top. So we can also look across points, rebounds, assists and see where he's... So rebounds, he's not really doing much. He's a little less than what he's projected. Assist, he's projected, or he's been averaging about 2.7 more. So look at the line, see what it's at. If it's at 3, we like the over. It's at 4, it's okay. But the big one here is his points. So he's been scoring a crap ton of points. So I would look at his Price Pick or Sportsbook line, say, what's the Jason Tatum points prop? It should be somewhere 22, 23, 24. He's been averaging 43.5 over the last week. So that's one that we might want to look at and over. When we're flipping down through here, if you just want to do points prop, if you don't like all the other stuff, you can sort each one of these columns high to low and say, okay, Tatum, Duncan Robinson, he's been averaging 25. He's projected at 10. He does have a minute drop, so do we still think he's going to go over that? Anthony Edwards is a big one. He's projected at 20. So his Price Pick line is going to be somewhere around 20, 21, 21.5. As they get money, they will increase those lines. So if they open up Anthony Edwards points prop at 20 and they get a bunch of overs, it's going to move to 20.5 or 21 or 21.5. But you can see these lines move 3.5 points between when they open in the morning and right before game close. But he's been averaging about 30, so that's one we would want to go look at. And you can do the same thing for rebounds, assists. So this is what I do to find my player props and look at the game logs. That's how I find my plays. That's the most basic, quickest way to go through hundreds of players and bring the cream of the crop to the top and take a look at it. Now, you can also do this for the 3-point shots made, but if you have more time and you want to investigate this further, we have other options for you. So here in our props tab, let me go ahead and slide this over for you. So you click in here to this team and you can scroll through all the games for the day, and it's going to bring up the whole game. So we've got the whole team, their position, their DraftKings, FanDuel salaries. We got their daily raw projections, the last 7-day average, the last 15-day average, so you can see what they've been averaging over these two. For example, let's look at one. So Alexander, he's projected at 24.8 points. The last 7 days, he's been averaging 30 points. So that's one we would want to go take a look at his game logs. Over the last 15 days, he's been averaging 26.2 points. Your last 15-day averages it's averaged over more games, obviously, so it's going to be a little bit closer. But I like the last 7 days because it really makes players pop, so I can go look at them and find the huge discrepancies and differences. And then also on this tab, I've got the opponent DVP stats, so you can see what this team is giving up. So you can see points, rebounds, assists, 3-point shots made, Price Pick fantasy points, how all of these rank, and these are the totals. And then if you want to look at the specific positions, we have your point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, centers, and you can look here. So you could say, okay, Oklahoma City is facing Indy. Indy is not giving up a lot of points to the center position, but they give up a crap ton of rebounds. You know, they're giving up 15 rebounds per game to the center. So maybe the rebound prop for the Oklahoma City center is someone that you want to take a look at. I love doing points, rebounds, assists, so I brought this in here to help me so you can see what they're projected at, their last 7 PRA, their last 15 PRA. So you can see Alexander's projected at about 37, but he's been averaging 44 over the last week, so that's one I would take a look at. And if you're specifically on Price Picks and you like doing the Price Pick fantasy points, then I have this little tab in here. So this is... So a lot of sites, when they project fantasy points, they calculate a player's fantasy points per minute times projected minutes. That's a very generic, basic way to score. So I flipped it and said, okay, what the projection of the player, what is it in terms of Price Pick points, and recalculated it and flipped it into a Price Pick fantasy point per minute number. So you can see in Price Pick fantasy points what this player's projected at, what they've averaged the last 7, what they've averaged the last 15, and then I even put the per minute breakdown. So for example, let's see, who is this top guy here? Shy. Okay, so Shy, he's projected at 44.4 Price Pick fantasy points today, and that is an average of 1.17 Price Pick fantasy points per minute. Well, these sound like tongue twisters, but the last 7, he's been putting up 58 Price Pick points per minute at a rate of 1.1 or 1.51 per minute. So he is significantly over that number. So if you're doing a Price Pick fantasy point prop, I would definitely take the over here. Because his projection is going to be somewhere around 44. He's been putting up 58 over the last week, and even over the last 15 days, he's averaging more than that. And then I pulled the names over here, so if you're just looking at this column, you don't have to scroll all the way back to see the name. You can see exactly who it is across here. Now, if you want to go even further and look at this, you can go down here to our DVP tab, and we show you all the defense versus position, and this is great for player props, for fantasy, whatever you're playing. We have all the games over here. We have the Vegas line, we have the Vegas totals, we have the pace, if it's pace up, pace down. This is a good place to just kind of take a look here, and you can see the total fantasy points allowed by the position. This is going to point out some key spots that you could go to. For example, for centers, I sorted this high to low, which you can see. So these would be good centers to go after. And then these would be ones in tough matchups. And you can do this for every position. And then if you want to get more specific, so for example, Houston's allowing 50.7 fantasy points to the point guard. Well, you can come here and see point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, centers. But point guard, you can look and see, okay, this term, this 50.7 fantasy points, this is the breakdown. So this is how many points they're allowing, rebounds, assists, 3-point shots made, blocks, steals, and then Price Pick points. So I also included the Price Pick fantasy points in here for each position. And if you don't like looking at the number, if you say 8.5 assist, I don't know, how does that rank? Is that good? Is that bad? Well, scroll on down here and we've got it in a ranking format. So for example, if you're looking for Houston, so they give up the 28th most points to the point guard position. So that's a really good spot to target point guards against Houston. San Antonio gives up the most actual points and the 25th most Price Pick points. So that kind of gives you an idea of what we do for player props. So we have some people who just do sports betting and subscribe to us. We have some people who just play fantasy sports. And then we have some people who are just doing player props. I've been doing a lot of player props recently. So I've customized these sheets for everybody, kind of an all-in-one, no matter what you're doing. And again, we post it in the morning. We update it with the projections and post it again 90 minutes before lock for everybody. We put it in the Facebook group. We put it on the website. And I put it in the chat for our premium group. And we usually have discussions about all the different things. So if you want to try these sheets for free, the link to our free Facebook group is in the description. So we have 2 Facebook groups. We have a free one, and we post the sheets there on Thursday, and then random other days of the week or whatever, I'll throw them in there as kind of like a pop-up surprise. And then for the premium Facebook group, we post the sheets every day, twice a day. And this is just the NBA player props that we're talking about now. So we have others that we do, and we're constantly adding stuff. So this is what we can do for player props. This is what we offer to try to help people out. So if you have any questions, feel free to message me. Thanks for watching this video, and have a good day.